Do you ever feel like your money is slipping through your fingers? Like you work hard, but your bank account never seems to reflect it? You're not alone. So many people struggle with managing their money, and it's often because they haven't discovered the power of budgeting. Budgeting is the key to financial freedom and achieving your goals. Whether it's buying your dream home, traveling the world, or just having peace of mind knowing your finances are in order. In this video, we'll walk you through practical steps to create a smart budget, stick to it, and take charge of your finances once and for all. Let's get started. Let's be real for a second. Nobody jumps for joy at the thought of creating a budget. It can feel restrictive, even a little scary to confront your spending habits head on. But trust me on this, budgeting is not about limiting yourself. It's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your money so you can design the life you want. The first step to taking control is understanding where your money is actually going. You'd be surprised how many people have no clue how much they spend each month. Tracking your spending, down to the last dollar, is like shining a light on your finances. You might be surprised by what you find. Maybe you're spending way more on takeout coffee than you thought, or those little impulse buys are adding up. Knowledge is power, and knowing where your money goes is the first step to making it work harder for you. Budgeting is also crucial for avoiding the dreaded debt spiral. Credit cards, loans, they can feel like easy solutions in the short term, but they can quickly snowball into a mountain of debt that feels impossible to climb out of. By creating a budget, you're essentially creating a plan for your money, ensuring you have enough to cover your expenses without relying on credit. This means less stress, less interest payments, and more money in your pocket long term. Okay, so we're clear on why budgeting is essential, but how do you actually create a budget that works for you? Don't worry, it's not as complicated as you might think. The first step is to calculate your income. This includes your salary, any side hustles, or other sources of income. It's crucial to be accurate here, so don't overestimate or underestimate. Next up, it's time to track your expenses. This is where the real work begins, but it's also where you gain the most valuable insights. Use a budgeting app, a spreadsheet, or even a good old-fashioned notebook to record every single expense for a month. And I mean everything from your rent or mortgage payment to your daily commute, groceries, entertainment, even that occasional online shopping spree. Once you have a clear picture of your income and expenses, it's time to set some financial goals. These goals will be unique to you, but they could include things like paying off debt, saving for a down payment on a house, investing for retirement, or even just building an emergency fund. Having clear goals gives you something to work towards and keeps you motivated. Now it's time to choose a budgeting method that aligns with your personality and lifestyle. There are several popular methods, like the 50-30-20 budget, where you allocate 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. Another option is the zero-based budget, where you assign every dollar a job, ensuring your income minus your expenses equals zero. Experiment with different methods and find one that clicks for you. One of my top budgeting tips is to prioritize saving. Creating a budget is a great first step, but the real magic happens when you stick to it consistently. Here are some tips to make budgeting a sustainable part of your life. First and foremost, review your budget regularly. Life is constantly changing, and your budget should reflect that. Set aside some time each month to review your income, expenses, and progress towards your goals. This will help you stay on top of your finances and make adjustments as needed. Avoid impulse purchases like the plague. These are budget killers often driven by emotion rather than logic. Before you buy something, especially a big-ticket item, take some time to think it through. Do you really need it? Can you afford it? Is it aligned with your goals? Sleeping on it can help you avoid buyer's remorse. Rewarding yourself is essential for staying motivated. Budgeting shouldn't feel like punishment, so build in some fun. Allocate a small amount each month for something you enjoy, whether it's a dinner out with friends, a weekend getaway, or a new book. Don't be afraid to get creative with your budgeting. Look for free or low-cost alternatives to your favorite activities. Explore your city's parks, attend free community events, or host potlucks with friends instead of going to expensive restaurants. Embrace the power of saying no. It's okay to decline invitations or turn down requests if they don't align with your budget. Even with the best intentions, it's easy to fall into common budgeting pitfalls. Let's discuss some of these traps and how to avoid them. One of the biggest mistakes is not tracking your expenses accurately. Remember, knowledge is power and you can't manage what you don't track. Be honest with yourself about your spending habits, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Another common mistake is underestimating irregular expenses. These are expenses that don't occur monthly, like car repairs, holiday gifts, or annual subscriptions. Factor these expenses into your budget throughout the year to avoid being caught off guard. Being too strict with your budget can also backfire. Depriving yourself entirely of things you enjoy can lead to burnout and ultimately derail your progress. Allow yourself some flexibility and room for spontaneity. Not adjusting your budget as needed is another recipe for failure. Life is full of surprises, both good and bad. When circumstances change, your budget should too. Ignoring your debt is a surefire way to sabotage your financial progress. Budgeting wisely is about finding balance and making your money work for you. It's not about deprivation, it's about empowerment. By following these steps, you'll gain control over your finances and set yourself up for long-term success. Remember, consistency is key, and every small step you take towards financial wellness is a victory worth celebrating. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tips.